Alright. We're streaming more Starfield. Alright, so how much do I have? Oh, it took that much. Okay. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that looks right. So, let's drop down a quick save and star map. Yep. There we go.
You should see some of the ships we get at. Like they're for decorating their ships with heat leach.
And here's our new cap. Everything looks good here. I'll be at my booth if you need me.
Alright, man. Let me see.
Hey! Hey, you! You have a minute?
Yeah, what's up, guy?
I need to talk to you.
What do you need
You're
to
the
talk
one that was
about?
on Vectera, right? You flew in on the, Frontier.
Yeah, man.
I knew it! Tommy Bitlow, SSNN research intern. Word is the Frontier was involved in an attack? It's true, right? You saw some real action? This is great! Great! My boss, Nadia Mufaz, would kill to talk to you. An actual eyewitness! There's credits in it for credible, newsworthy information. Everyone knows David Barron, the face and voice of SSNN, if you will. But Nadia is in charge of all the research. All the best stories were written by her. She's really something. Just share what you want then. All we want to know is about the attack itself. Just go to the SSNN building. Keep it up, Tommy.
Can I?
Scanners, I had
Of course, the United Colonies is
I
being
had to, or else they would have killed
forbid
us.
something escaped unnoticed.
What are you going on about, guy? I don't think this is a place for that. screaming about I had to or they would kill us. So we need to go to residential. Can we assign the dudes
Again,
from
who do you think will be the
the
first to ask us questions? Mateo or Noel?
I forgot what I was saying. Holy shit. Oh yeah. I wonder if we can assign the dudes from the Juno probe. If we can get those dudes on a frickin' thingamajig. Outpost. That thing. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright, so... yeah, we're getting there. Commercial... yeah. Okay. Chunks.
I wish there was a value meal option.
Welcome to Chunks. Please choose your... Great. What? All I am legally allowed to say is that our chunks meet all known minimum standards for nutrition.
Oh, wow. Neato. Mercury Tower, no. Century, yeah, this place. What you got going on?
Just by walking through that door. Welcome to Centurion Arsenal. All sales are final, but that won't matter because you will undoubtedly be pleased with your purchase. You have my word.
Okay.
I'm sure we can find something that suits you.
Yo, let's go.
You're here because you need something you can connect with. Only the finest collect.
We could sell our ammo. Yeah. Oh. No. I'll keep it just in case.
I'm thinking about taking my stuff to.
Last stop, Apollo. My favorite. And we can afford it.
All art is political, but especially that. You really can't complain about it.
Have not been compromised, and their credits are safe.
Thanks for stopping by. I've got all your basics right here. Thanks for stopping in. I can always use the business.
That's kind of weird. Pointless. Unit tower. I'm looking for a clothing shop, but can't find it. Which is weird. Oh, I found it. I think I found it.
So, this is the good stuff. Straight from Neon.
Oh, they're doing drugs. I don't want to, you know. Jimson Mercantile. Okay. Oh, spaceport. Spaceport. We'll do that thing. Um,
Captain! Over here! The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it.
okay.
But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there.
Oh dear
My
God.
relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy.
Oh wow.
They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come. I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it.
Hmm.
He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death on both sides. Freestar Collective and UC. Military and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned. I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second,
Thanks,
was
man.
there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or, if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here. It's hard to know exactly what might sway them. I'd just be honest about what you saw. A colony wiped out, and a lot of lives lost. Something we don't want anyone else to have to experience. Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise. That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place.
Oh, wow.
It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift. Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go.
Just one quiet day. Not too much to ask for.
I'm being quiet.
I would prefer it. Let us just say I am.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope will determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives.
Oh.
A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask how many deaths the cabinet requires to act. 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt, the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties. Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this Terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
Whatever risks exist, they are outweighed by this imminent threat. I agree. The request should be granted.
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I.
Who is that other
Suppose
person?
that does get to the heart of the point, doesn't it? Very well. I consent. The galaxy was lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Attention. Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident. Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport.
No, not the spaceport.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Oh no.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, man.
Oh yeah, sure.
Let's get down there.
Sure. I guess I'm gonna shoot at these.
The air rifle, grab it! Now!
Stop! We're trying to help you!
That's it. Now hit him with everything you've got.
Why is it doing this?
Lights out on them.
That it?
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet.
Oh,
You kill the morph,
wow.
you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready. I'm not suggesting. The result of the projection, though, can vary wildly. Some folks and some lose control altogether. Those cases, you'll either need to knock them out with EM fire, or free them by killing the terramorph. Let's do it.
That's unlocked.
I heard something.
I don't have a weapon.
No time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move!
An evacuation order has been
Gonna be
issued
okay.
for the spaceport district.
Be all right.
What is it?
Yeah, okay, whatever. YOLO!
You might back up. Don't just stand there.
Always worth checking.
I'm gonna break.
Opening fire!
Wait.
Oh, that seemed real enough to me. I got booped. Good lord.
Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's
An
move!
evacuation order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
You might back up. Don't just stand there.
Whatever you're experiencing right now, it's not real.
Best not to leave anything useful behind.
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman experts? Take whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad. We're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
I was gonna do it with the laser.
You've lost. You're never gonna win. They always win. Nothing's gonna save you. Nothing's gonna save you. They're gone. Damn! I'm hit. Stop! Stop! Don't shoot! We're friendly. No!
No more signs of trouble.
You put it down! Put down the weapon or we shoot!
It's not working. It's never going to work.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your six.
Nice, let's
Did you have
go.
any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here. But we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. Roger that. We're on you.
Pardon.
I'm glad I didn't sell these.
Target must have fled the area.
Oh, no way.
Defensive positions!
Back up!
Target down. Nice work, Captain.
The rest of the city is safe, thanks to us. You deserve whatever accolades you have coming.
I'll take some money. I like money.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. Universe put the right people in the right place.
Nice.
Certainly doesn't feel like it. I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Nice.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place.
I need to get my laser cutter as soon as possible.
Signal before exiting your homes. That is all.
Nothing's getting to the cabinet.
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major.
Oh, wow.
As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative. The Cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation than any diplomat would be. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of Terramorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The Cabinet was unanimous. They want you. We see your atypical background as a strength, not a hindrance. The people you'll be dealing with, they're rather...
I don't know.
atypical themselves.
I
In
don't
exchange,
know.
we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us? I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
You've got the cabin.
Nice.
Start getting up. Hello.
Hello.
McIntyre's going to have my ass if I can't find that file.
Oh, well, guess you better get that file.
Captain, you... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require.
How much money? No. 13K more.
That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varoon.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varoon to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
I couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate.
Oh.
Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varoon?
Let's do this one.
The good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable.
It sounds as though I will enjoy this.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to find the squeeze.
UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen.
Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you.
Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts.
Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge.
When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here.
He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Well, these days, they're primarily considered a security threat. House Varun Zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated into seclusion, want nothing more than to send everyone not dedicated to their cause to the great serpent in the sky. But that hasn't always been the case. After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about 70 years back, House Varun did take a real run at trying to normalize relations with the rest of the galaxy. It's why they have an embassy here in the first place, why they were included in the armistice negotiations. But then, without warning, they left, leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the ambassador and his duty under the armistice.
Yes, just like us. How magnanimous of you.
Of course, but there is another wrinkle. We're not 100% sure Balmore is actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice. Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code piece, and we'll go about notifying his next of kin, if we can ever find them. But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
The embassy is still legally House Varun's sovereign territory, so we're not technically permitted inside. We've snuck in the occasional spy, of course, but the ambassador has proven more evasive than you'd expect for a man of his age. But we're quite sure he hasn't left the city. The man stands out. It would at least be a speedier negotiation. But I, of course, hope the ambassador is alive and well.
Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Now, If you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Yes? What? By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
I asked my boss what they're doing to dump me.
Ah, yes. They build a monument to the people they lost, but not the people they killed. I cannot help but notice that the Colony War Memorial is in direct line of sight of this embassy. I suspect that was very much intentional.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby.
I wonder how many times one side or the other has threatened to close this embassy down over the years.
Terrors, as in more than one? All that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
Guests can make themselves comfortable in the lobby.
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment? Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right. Oh, stop.
Yes, I would request the same. This is unpleasant.
See, even your compatriot. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours, and go? You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. One to convince me. Understood.
Yes?
Did I not make myself... I'm listening. You know that for sure. That is interesting. Oh, yes. There's a lot of scared people out there right now, and I could do something about it. Well, Captain, You make some good points. But if I'm really granting you access, I'm gonna need the following concessions.
Nice, let's go.
Your access will be limited. You can only take out the items related to stopping these terramorphs. The monitors will make sure of it. You go in once. You get everything you need on your trip, and never again. And all research done with the data will be monitored. If this data is being used to save the galaxy needs to be involved in the oversight. Freestar scientists will watch your people like hawks.
Like hawks.
So, do we have an agreement? Well then, I guess.
Official business? Talk to the ambassador.
That's probably for the best.
Yes?
Welcome back. Wait, you got her to agree? Without putting a gun to her head? And all she wants are monitors. Then what are you doing here? Yes, granted, we'll make the arrangements. Heavens above, we'll make them citizens. Just get back there before she changes her mind.
Okay. Hello. Sorry, but I need sign-off from the Interstellar.
This building is Freestar sovereign territory. So here.
Captain, apologies. Something I need to attend to. Thank you again for all you've done, Captain. Radcliffe. Always more errands to run. Radcliffe. Always more errands to run.
Sorry. Everyone's a little on edge at the convenience
Captain, thank you again for all you've done, Captain.
Back at last. Excellent. Follow me. They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Don't make me regret this, Captain. Trust must be earned, so we'll let the UC earn it.
Sounds like it was a real mess down at the spaceport.
Exactly. It's like when someone...
I appreciate that they have not demolished the structure, even if diplomacy was ended. It may not have been their intention, but it represents hope.
All right.
This is certainly different than anything else in New Atlantis.
No digipix. That's a bummer.
It now owns this place.